Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I've been wanting to make this video for a long time, but I just never seem to... It's a really touchy subject, and my cat seems to be wanting extra love right now. But today's video is on domestic violence. If you or someone you know is in a domestic violence relationship or situation, just know there's always a way out. Figure out your escape and you'll get away. I had to go out of my comfort zone to find a support by making this channel, and all the subscribers I have, you know, they write me, they encourage me, they recommend things for me, and I'm really blessed to have such a great support group. But again, I had to go out of my comfort zone and seek it, but there's always a way out. Just remember that. Also, listen to your intuition, women. That's one thing that's in all of us, and it screams eventually at you if you don't listen long enough. But that's your one true best friend, I've learned in my young life. I want to be clear to say that I'm not using anyone's real names in this video, so no one can come at me for slander. These are true stories. If you want to try to take me to court over it, I have screenshots and photos, and I'm prepared. I'm ready. This is my blog, this is my channel, and I'm tired of deleting videos to appease other people. If you don't like what I'm posting or talking about, or if it's a touchy subject, or if you can't listen to it, find something else to watch. There's a whole bunch of other stuff out there. You don't have to tune into my channel. So I won't be able to talk about everything. There's not enough time in the world for it. But they say the first step to healing is admitting that you're hurt. So here I am, admitting that I'm hurt, making my blog. Hopefully I'll be able to get over this after this, since I can talk about it. I haven't been able to talk about it with anyone. My family, they can't listen to it. You know, they wouldn't be able to understand. My friends, they wouldn't understand. When you're in a situation like this, when you're screamed at constantly and put down and abused, you shut down mentally. It's a type of brainwashing, I guess. You know, you start to believe things are normal, you're isolated from your family, and you think this is it, this is how it's going to be. My abuser was a narcissist drug addict. If you look up any video on narcissism, that explains them to the T. Everything from the love boating to discarding, everything. The abuse, he was the first person I ever moved in with. It was, you know, I was getting older in life and I thought, YOLO, you know, take a chance. So I moved in with him, and where he did drugs, he didn't sleep, so he would be up all the time. And I would sleep. I thought he was sleeping next to me the whole night for a long time, and when I found out he wasn't, I never thought drugs. I thought me, that he didn't want to sleep next to me, he didn't want to be with me. And I would wake up and he'd be gone. He'd have the car, he'd be gone. There'd be people calling 24/7. His phone would be ringing 24/7. People would show up at the house 24/7. It just constant, go, go, go. There's never any resting. But when I went through his phone the first time, there had been pictures of his ex-girlfriend nude. I seen her once a month for the whole relationship. He had been talking to other girls. He had been looking for girls on Craigslist. And he told me he was looking for me. And that really affected me because I thought, wow, he thinks I'm a piece of shit prostitute. He doesn't trust me. You know, and I really felt bad about myself. And after I went through his phone, that was kind of free reign for him to go through my phone whenever he wanted. I gotta let my cat out. So he would go through my phone and he would see things from years ago, or where I'm a model or an actress. He would see pictures that photographers sent me, and he would, you know, accused me of being a slut. You slut, whore, bitch, cunt. Everything under the sun he pretty much called me. Then he would break the phones. He would break both our phones once a month. You know. He would stand over top of me and scream and be intimidating towards. And, you know, I had panic attacks a lot. It was traumatizing for me. I had never been screamed at. I had never been hit. I had never been... And no one's ever really been mad at me like that. Where their eyes would go black. So I was terrified. You know, the neighbors, I guess, heard me screaming and never would call the law. And he had did this before with all his other girlfriends, so I guess they were used to it, which is why they never helped. After, you know, I figured out he wasn't sleeping, and I had to work with him for like the first 6 months, which was shoveling gravel, mowing grass, mulching, hard stuff. And then I'd have to come home and clean and cook. And he told me I couldn't stay at home because it wasn't fair that he had to go to work all day and I could just stay at home. And also, because I had quit modeling because it was a big fight. I moved in with him, the first person I ever moved in with. So then he stopped coming home. He started coming home at like midnight. And I would beg him, you know, please just come home. Please just come home and spend time with me. Watch a movie with me. Go fishing with me. Eat dinner with me. That was a big thing for me, eating dinner together. And he refused the entire time. He wouldn't come home. And if he would come home, he wouldn't come inside. You know, he wouldn't say, hey, I'm home. The only way I would know was because he had security cameras all over the house. I couldn't have people over, and I couldn't leave for that reason, too. He could just look back at the security cameras and accuse me of cheating. The first time he had physically abused me was 3 months into the relationship. And you may ask yourself, well, why didn't you leave? And honestly, I had moved everything in with him. I would have lost everything. I had my animals. I tried to leave a couple times. One time he had my cat in his truck, and another time he begged me to come back and said he would come home and eat dinner with me. He threw things at the wall. Everything of mine he broke. I hid my laptop and my camera for an entire year. It's the only thing that I have left, and I wouldn't have had it if I wouldn't have hid it for a year straight. I couldn't move because I had spent my entire savings, sold everything of importance to me, put my electric on at his house, and I couldn't move. I couldn't move. I had nowhere to go. I was stuck. And I had no way out. It was for the first time in my life. I've been homeless a lot. I lived in a tent. I've hitchhiked the country twice. And I was stuck. He would punch the walls and hit his head in the walls. And the house looked like a freaking war zone. It looked like something you would see on Cops. You know? Just terrible. And he didn't have... The only bill we had was water and electric. And by the time I moved out and kept the electric on in my name, and he ran it up to $800. So I can't even move where I'm from now because of the electric bill. If my clothes were too tight, he would rip them off so I couldn't ever wear them again. If I wore makeup on, if I put makeup on, I was wearing it for someone else, cheating on him. He wouldn't let me sleep. I couldn't be in the bed by myself because I would be masturbating or talking to guys. He would be out in the garage. He would stay out in the garage until 2 a.m. One day, a couple times he stayed out there till like 5 a.m. And I would have to stay inside, you know, wondering what he's doing out there. I mean, that's what eats you alive, the not knowing. I didn't realize it was drugs until it was too late. I was convinced, I mean, he probably was cheating on me the whole relationship, but I was convinced he was cheating on me only, and why did I stay still? I mean, I couldn't leave. I had nowhere to go. I was exhausted. I was mentally, emotionally, physically exhausted. He would fight me. He would pull my hair, give me black eyes. He would strangle me once a week. I have a scar on my neck from being strangled once a week. Fingerprints. And, you know, you see this in the movies and you always think, you know, that's not ever going to happen to me. You know, that will never happen to me. And when it does happen to you, I loved him, so I didn't want to see him get in trouble. I thought it was me. Eventually, I know it's not. It wasn't me. But I felt hopeless. I felt lost. I wanted it to work. I loved the guy more than I loved myself, obviously. He would stay gone all day. There would be no food in the house. He would ignore my calls. I have no idea where he would be. His family would be calling me, asking where he's at, and I would say, I have no idea. Well, when's he going to come home? I have no idea. And it was just, it was terrible. When I think back to it, I think, why would I put myself through that? But that's how they are. Abusers. When it's just you and them and they're sober or they're in their feel-good mood, they make you feel like the most important thing. And I believed him, and I didn't want to give up on him. And he's the first guy I ever really loved, and I wanted to show him a better way of life. I know that sounds cliched. Around on my birthday, which was August 27th, he had given me 2 black eyes. And September 1st, my family moved me out. My family came and got me. I had pushed them away so much. They knew about the abuse, but I kept telling them I had it under control. I thought I had it under control. I mean, I was black and blue all the time, and once I was bruised so much, he would start hitting my ribs. And psychologically, I mean, the mental abuse, he would have sex with me when I was asleep, with the lights off. He told me he wished my boobs were bigger. He wished I would have sex with another guy so he could watch. And, that's like the worst part of you know, you want to be good for somebody. And you put yourself through hell and you try, and that's the worst. Wanting to be somebody's world and them just reminding you every day that you're not. Does that make you try harder, or does that make you give up? When I moved out, I was 98 pounds. I had 2 black eyes. I had strangle marks on my throat. I lost half my dishes, half my sheets, all my fishing poles, all my, I lost a lot of stuff. But September 1st, September 2nd, I started filming for my new movie, Buckeye Massacre. And I was loving life, I moved out, moved into my new home. I set up my studio, started filming, started photographing, and then October I found out I was pregnant.